This video comes out just in time for graduation season, so when I present this, I am mostly addressing the youth of today. So Gen Z, Gen Alpha, hopefully you can take something away from this. And to my twin sons who just graduated from high school this year, and to my daughter who is entering her 10th grade year, Mom has some words for you. Dear kids, if there's one thing I can warn you about, it is that people will cast you in roles you didn't audition for. No matter where you go, there's a possibility at any given time you'll run across someone with a ready-made script prepared to project the role and all the traits that come with it onto you, and oftentimes without your knowing. Now, I'm definitely not saying people are never responsible for the patterns they repeatedly demonstrate. Actions still have consequences, and reputations are often earned. I'm speaking specifically about the tendency people have to flatten complex human beings into permanent characters. People are capable of treating individuals at times subconsciously as plug-and-play components of their preconceived notions and expectations. Where do they do this? Let's start with the family. Your parents may create or formulate expectations about who they think you are or should be without your personal consideration or permission. Friends may designate you the group therapist, the emotional punching bag, or the undesignated Uber driver. As you grow older and begin to enter romantic relationships, you may run into individuals who expect you to fulfill all the roles in their lives or fill the voids within them. Future workplaces may cast you as the peacekeeper, perhaps the diversity symbol, or worse, the invisible workhorse. In religious communities, you might be viewed as the infallible good example or the irredeemable cautionary tale. When you navigate the online space, the algorithm encourages people to become recognizable before becoming fully understood. This is where people fall prey to hyperbolizing archetypes, political symbols, stereotypes, even content creators. This is just to name a few. Speaking of online spaces, this gender war or whatever the F it is, you'd be best to not engage unless it's from an objective anthropological distance whenever possible. Why do I say this? Because society is adaptive and evolves. Expectations, economics, technology, and power structures are constantly changing. History shows us that cultures rarely move neatly backward into previous arrangements once conditions fundamentally change, whether people feel emotionally prepared for that reality or not. So when you encounter this endless online battle between men and women, I want you to resist the temptation to become emotionally conscripted into it. Observe it, learn from it, study it if you must. Hell, I can see how some of the content is entertaining. But do not allow strangers on the internet to convince you that all men are fill in the blank, nor that all women are fill in the blank. Most human beings are far more frightened, lonely, wounded, hopeful, and complicated than online discourse allows them to appear.
Being a human can be pretty uncomfortable.
I know.
Humans make things up like patriarchy and Barbie just to deal with how uncomfortable it is.
I understand that.
And then you die.
And always keep in mind that the internet often rewards the loudest performers, not the wisest people in the room. This is where your kids may be in danger.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
Competent people such as yourselves get cast the fastest. People who present well physically, can solve problems, regulate emotions, organize chaos, and absorb pressure draw the most attention from those seeking containment. Most people don't interact with others objectively. What they will do is apply symbols. To them, they may cast you as intimidating, cold, aloof, threatening, and selfish. On the perceived positive note, you may be given the role of the magical one, a savior, maternal or paternal, a non-consented love interest. I want you to understand, I am in no way deterring you from forming relationships or collaborating with others. We raised you to be helpful. We encourage community outreach. We support our family and friends. But you must be vigilant when certain parties assume roles without your consent, whether that be access to you, your labor, availability, or your leadership. Remember that volunteering your time and services is your choice, not the recipient's. When you overextend yourself to play a cast member in someone else's play, you run the risk of developing resentment, exhaustion, and identity confusion. Shakespeare wrote, "All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players." But I'll add on, don't play yourself in a process.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
In other words, don't lose yourself in someone else's production. You have no control over what one may project onto you. The good news, it's not your responsibility. Love, Mom.